Okay, last one that we have here is, like I said, Pat Robertson. And he's talking to the same no-name person of color, which, could be racist on my part that I'm not looking up this guy, but I'm willing to concede that. But no, because this guy's racist as fuck. Anyway, that's weird, Felicia. You got a fly in that room, and I keep seeing it going past the camera.
I know. It's driving...
Why do we have flies in mid-November? This is not right.
Global climate change is a hoax perpetrated by the Chinese. I definitely didn't catch the fly.
No.
Damn it. Chinese flies.
Mid-November, people, in Utah, and it's like 70 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Global warming.
I am wearing a sundress. I didn't wear a jacket today. I'm wearing a sundress.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful today. But the fact is, that horrifies me because it's mid-November.
Yeah, it's slightly terrible.
Okay, so anyway, like I said, Pat Robertson, random black guy. Here we go.
Blacks don't need anybody to kill them anymore because the left, through Planned Parenthood, has been trying to slow down the birth rate of what he's called
fuck you.
Oh!
The left. Let's blame the left for everything. When is the left, and I'm blaming the left here, when are we going to grow a set of balls and play the same fucking game these people do? When are we going to, we do it on this show because we're angry as fuck lefties. But the thing is, when is mainstream, liberal America going to stop munching granola and be like, fuck you, right wing, fuck you. We're going to stand up for this shit.
God, because we have this obsession with the high road.
No, we need to wallow in pig shit like the right does, because honestly, that gets results.
Yeah, it does. No, it actually works.
It really does. It works. Yeah. Because
my
that's all America knows.
My campaign did an experiment. We did like a scientific experiment, and it's negative that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So next time Hillary, I'm not blaming the Hillary campaign, but her advisors that said, when they go low, we go high, whatever the fuck it was.
And they believe that those people are non-producers. They should not be alive. And they did it by playing on a wound. And the wound was slavery. And they told women, you can make choice over your own body. You got to stop letting people decide for you if you should have the babies or not.
Yes! Yes, you nailed it. There it is. Yes, black women, you get to make choices over your own body, and nobody gets to tell you what to do with it otherwise. There, you said the right thing.
But the right, their head explodes by the fact that the person who set up Planned Parenthood was a eugenics supporter.
And she was.
Yeah.
Be like, we've moved past that.
She also was a big civil rights activist.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I don't see people stop eating cornflakes because of Kellogg. I don't see anybody.
Kellogg was
cutting
crazy.
Up baby dicks.
Yeah, go watch The Road to Wellville.
Oh my
God. For you guys out there. Kellogg was fucking insane.
Cutting up. He wanted to burn off girls' clitorises with acid.
Yeah, he was for FGM and MGM because that kept you from masturbating, and that was a bad thing according to him. You should eat more cornflakes. Which I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love cornflakes.
I don't eat cereal anymore. It's just too risky with the sugar.
Yeah. Regular ass cornflakes with a little bit of little tiny bit of sprinkling of sugar and some milk. Love that shit.
We played into that. Well, Margaret Sanger was the head. She wanted
here we go.
Black Christian
I jumped
leader
ahead.
to be like a Judas goat to lead the blacks to genocide.
A Judas
goat. You remember that? Yes.
Jesus.
And they picked Martin.
Wait, is he talking about that movie? The Vivitch? The Vivitch? With what was the goat's name? The Black Samuel?
And I've been watching a lot of Harry Potter, so I keep thinking, can you get a Bezoar from the goat's stomach? Because Ron's gonna need that to cure that potion that he drank from Slugworth's.
Do you think
Slughorn?
Do they is there a magic spell that just goes, fetus goodbyes, and it's
asshole disaparo? There we go.
Yes.
This person, you remember? And before that, W.E.B. Du Bois. Yeah. And this woman, she was the one that really substantiated and validated what was under Charles Darwin's book, Origin of Species. The
okay.
Subtitle.
Stop it.
Wrong. Wrong.
Charles Darwin's book was
wrong.
used badly.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
So very, very wrong. Yes.
Wrong.
Origin
No.
of species had nothing to do with black people.
No, it did not.
And interestingly enough,
No.
I actually have a picture I got from Imgur earlier tonight from a Reddit article that I was reading, where they were talking about a Pakistani biology book, and it has a facts about the creation of living organisms. This is a textbook in English, but just listen to this. This is amazing. The theory of evolution, as proposed by Charles Darwin in the 19th century, is one of the most unbelievable and irrational claims in history.
You know what? No, stop there. It's not irrational, but it is incredible. Like, it's an incredible claim.
It is a
Like, it is a-
mind-blowing fucking theory that he came
It is
up
a
with.
massive claim.
Yeah, it is.
It's been backed up by mountains. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And holy
Right.
fuck balls, we have it.
Well, the amazing
Right.
thing is that, like, even Darwin's like, I don't want this to be the truth. I don't want this to be the thing. I would rather live in what I've always thought the world was.
Right. Well, and it wasn't even necessarily that he.
Unfortunately,
It wasn't even necessarily that he didn't want it to be true. It was more that he came to some conclusions that he himself could not support with the current amount of information and evidence that was available at the time.
He came up with a hypothesis, and he said, I have reason to believe in this hypothesis, but I
Right.
can't show the mechanism. And boop-a-doop-a-doop, along comes Mendel with his pea pods, proves
Right,
genetics.
'cause-
Like, at the same time,
Right,
separate.
right,
He was
but-
not even aware of Darwin.
Right.
I've always
and keep
loved
in
that
mind,
about science. That, like, it's
Yeah.
something where you after the fact, you're like, well, fucking of course.
right,
But
and at
prior to that,
at the time that Darwin came up with this, the field of geologic chemistry didn't even exist.
Right.
So
but
it-
now we have
So there wasn't even a way for them to determine the approximate age of the Earth.
oh
So
We
my
didn't have-
the big
God, do
problem-
I hate it when people talk about fucking carbon dating and how it's wrong and like,
Well,
that's
it's-
not what
yeah.
they do. That's not
No,
what
that's
they
not,
do.
that's not even close to what they do. But at the time, he had with his theories and what he was finding, he couldn't reconcile it with how much time it would take, because he didn't have a concept of how old the Earth or the universe was.
You
And
remember,
Right.
that was like one of these big things.
remember how
Not to
earlier
mention
in the,
the lack of fossil record at that time.
remember earlier in the show when I was talking about family members being mad at me for, spouting truth.
Right.
There was we went to get family pictures done today, and
Mhm.
at this, we went to the botanical gardens here in Ogden, and it's nice out there. It's really nice, but
Mhm.
they're working on making it more pretty, and they had these beautiful like sandstone rocks that they had been getting ready to like place and stuff. So it's like it's in a hopper ready for them to put it into wherever it needs to go.
Right.
And so you have all of these beautiful layers, layer after layer of different sediment and stuff like
Right.
that. And so I'm talking to the family members. I'm like, man, could you? I see this sandstone, and I'm like, man, just look at the layers there. That's fucking amazing. How long it took for those layers to show up there, and we're just taking it as for granted. We're using it as decoration, but I'm looking at it. I'm like going, how many millions of years of shit had to settle and be compressed for this to actually happen?
Oh, if these rocks could tell stories.
Oh, and man, like they're like, yeah, no, that's kind of pretty, and I'm like, you guys just
You don't
conceded.
understand.
You just conceded that your Christianity is fucking stupid, because your Christianity, for it to work, would take 6,000 years.
God
My-
would have literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My rocks prove your Christianity wrong.
one rabbit in the
Said it so
Precambrian
many
layers of any. I know I've said it. I'm going to keep
so
using it.
many times.
I'm going to keep using it. One fucking rabbit in any Precambrian layer. It's done. We're done.
Mhm.
Collect your Nobel Prize. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Like, that's it. No, collect your
Yeah.
collect all
Collect
your
your 90,000 or whatever the fuck it is nowadays. It's a lot.
just find one rabbit. One. It doesn't even
Yeah.
be a rabbit. A
Man.
seashell.
Exactly. All right,
Yeah.
let's finish up here.
That book was The Preservation of Favored Races and the Struggle for Life. That book was about eugenics. Mm.
No, it
And
wasn't.
this woman through
Nope.
Planned Parenthood
Actually, wasn't
slowed
what Planned Parenthood.
down the birth rate of what they call the dysgenics.
The dysgenics.
Matter of fact, this particular candidate, this woman,
Pat, you believe
Hillary
anything.
used that term while she's been running for election, because I said, where did she get that from? Well, she had to have gotten that from this idea of eugenics.
I've never heard that. She talked about the deplorals, but she talked about dysgenics.
The dysgenics.
She used that term?
She certainly did, and
No,
this is
she did
easily
not.
findable. And so I said, she must
no.
understand
Didn't.
what many blacks don't understand, that like just recently she was on with Jay-Z, did a concert.
Yeah.
Sorry, I finally got the guy's name. It's Wellington Boone.
Oh,
That's a stage
Okay.
name if I've ever heard one in my fucking life.
has to be.
Oh, well, shit, I go by X. I mean, what the fuck do you expect there?
This guy was cursing and saying all kind of F-bombs and
Because that
B's and
automatically
W's.
makes your
and she
argument
gets up there and she
wrong.
says, we're all unified. I said, woman, give me two sentences that of his lyrics that you know about. You're not for those people. You're using those people.
I don't know where that devolved to. I honestly don't. know.
I don't either. I don't either. But
You
I
know how
would
many times my arguments have been like, they're like, you used a swear, you lose. I'm like, oh,
Fuck you.
naughty words. Are you an adult? Grow the fuck up.
My kids, Kyle, maybe you can agree with me here, but your kids
Yeah.
hear what Americans quote as naughty language, right?
Oh yes.
They're not adverse to hearing a fuck, a damn, a shit, something like that.
Oh yeah. No, I hear it coming from my kids too, particularly when they're playing playing their video games in their bedrooms, and I hear my son go, "Fucking damn it!"
See, and I'm not adverse because
And I just pretend I didn't hear that. He's alone in his room. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of that.
Right.
Because
for me,
he doesn't say it at school. He doesn't say it around his friends.
exactly.
I'm okay.
My point is that when that happens, I tell my kids, look, there's appropriate speech for certain areas.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
and I would rather have my kids learn how to use cuss words when they're younger, as opposed to me playing catch up at 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys grew up with I had really oppressive religious parents growing up. And so like me learning cuss words was like, I'm 13, my parents aren't around, I'm in junior high, and be like, well, fuck shit, goddamn shit, fucking asshole. It's like I was just trying to learn, and I'm making a terrible example because it's hard to misuse cuss words now.
It is, yeah, because it's just inherent now. But well, I've got a great example of like
Shit
my
fuck. There you go.
shit fuck. I've actually said that, like genuinely,
But not as an like
that's
not
a
not
pretty,
as a not
not
as a
literally.
like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No. Ew.
Nope.
I'm not one to judge many kinks, but shit fuckery is one that I'm like, no, I don't get it. Nope.
I don't get it. I'm out. Incest is another one. Out.
Yeah. No.
Berries. So I was out in the backyard.
I love how you call it.
I know. I get to call it. That's right. Queen of blueberries here. I was out in the backyard with a certain 4-year-old recently, and the dog ran out through the hole in the fence. And I called him back, and I'm like, shithead. And I turn to the 4-year-old and I go, don't say that. And he goes, I didn't say shithead. And I go, no, dude, you can't even say it back to me. Why not? And I go, because some people get really upset when kids swear. Like, I don't, but you can't. Because some people get upset. I'm not your parent.
Yeah.
My wife took
say it again.
my oldest to go shopping the other day at Target, and that's just one of my wife's like favorite places to shop. And she took my oldest, and she found a sweater that she really liked, and she's like, "Damn!" Like the sweater that she found, and she's like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to say that out loud in the middle of shopping and stuff. She's like, but I really like the sweater. So it's just amazing that I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of inappropriate for the usage. We'll work on that, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
sweaters don't get a damn.
I'm not the kind of parent where I tell my kids,
really cool, they do.
I'm not the kind of parent where I tell a kid, look, this is a naughty word. There's no such thing in my family. There's no such thing as a naughty word in my family. There's an inappropriate place to use this word. You know, I've studied way too much Japanese culture to know that, like, you don't say something's bad, because there's honestly no such thing as a bad word. There's just a wrong time to use it. And that comes from me being a student of language kind of thing. I don't know why I went to Japanese, but
yes, there's wrong time. There's a wrong time. There's a wrong place. There's a wrong audience.
Yes, indeed. And
I
tell my kids all the time. I'm like, look, you go to school out here. I'm not going to say where, but you go to school out here where cows are the major population. You know, so you using words like that would probably be something that people would be like, clutching at their pearls, going, "Oh my goodness, this kid is saying such terrible language." And be like, for me, I'm like, I'm proud of you, kid. That's the appropriate time to use that. That's a great time to use that.
Well, this 4-year-old, when he responded back, I didn't say shithead. He was right. Like, until he said it, like, and he didn't, like, he just said it like it was any other word, and I'm like, yeah, no, get it, dude.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the Jay and Silent Bob moment where my kid says "fuck, motherfucking." Fuck.
I was actually surprised with my plusness, like his said shithead to me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not. It doesn't really sound wrong coming from you, like, especially in the context of the sentence, right? He's like, but I didn't say shit. He's like, I hadn't already said it. Why are you telling me not to say it, right? And like, and obviously he was using it because I just told him not to.
Yeah.
Well, it's just amazing that Pat Robertson needs to say, like, his guest needs to say, oh, they were dropping bombs all over the place. Be like, there's a perfectly appropriate time and place for anybody to say the word fuck. That is the most versatile word in the American English dictionary.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
It is.
We use it,
and there's nothing wrong with it. And I would
all the fucking
and I would
time.
I would also really love, and this is never going to happen, but I would love for Hillary Clinton to take him up on his challenge. Because I can almost guarantee you that she could do several of his songs line for line.
That'd be funny.
She does carry hot sauce in her bag.
Yes, she does.
She actually is a big fan of hot sauce. Like, that wasn't pandering. Like, I think we called her out on that show as pandering, but, like, I looked into it. No, she's been a big fan of hot sauce for a long.
I would never call anybody out on carrying hot sauce as pandering at all. Ever.
I've found it in my repertoire of things that I do, which is to most people be like, that's fucking weird, X. What the fuck are you doing? Like, anytime I find out I'm going to like a pizza place, I will bring like my Carolina Reaper powder with me because I need hot shit on my pizza, because like most food nowadays, I'm like, oh, this is yummy, but it's missing that one key thing, which is a kick in the fucking mouth. That's what I really need. And so I found myself going to a pizza pie cafe. Ugh, that place is terrible. Don't go there. Don't ever go there. Sadly, my kids like that place. But shit, what were we talking about? We're talking about Pat Robertson and everything. Anyway, we're done with that. We're done with that. We're going to go ahead and jump off of Fun with Real Audio. So hopefully you guys enjoyed what you guys got this week. We're not doing more. That's 3. 3, we're done. We did 2 last week. We did 3 this week. We're done. We're going to jump into our rants, and we're going to call it quits because we have one last thing to do, which is the patron show. So anyway, Utah Outcasts. This is Kyle, X, Felicia. We'll be right back.